Giants ban Jackson, because that's always yes.
Nidalee
banned off again so far, so same. Let's see if it changes.
Well, yeah, Nidalee banned, Jax banned, Kalista banned. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Bingo!
So is it going to be the Azir?
They're thinking about it though. It usually goes very quickly, and it is the Azir again.
Okay, Azir banned. So
might be that was their last chance to take it if they don't win this.
Now, will the Quinn get banned out here again by Giants? I think that was a good adaptation.
Yes.
They showed us the Lulu works for Giants.
No, just don't ban the Corki and then trade it if they take the
Sivir.
So
I guess that's the other thing now is now that Giants have showed us that they are willing to play Corki.
Ah, they did it.
Ooh, okay.
Poppy ban. All right. I like it.
So now they've showed us that they can play Lulu. Puts us in an odd position where there's like Sivir, Lulu, Corki available now. Giants are going to hover the Sivir. And then SmittyJ, as he always does, is going to hover Yasuo every game.
Before going serious mode. So now the Lulu and the Corki are up. Do they take that right now?
The thing is, if you go Lulu, Corki here, that
still
kind of shows your
carries
entire hand. But they are going to take the Corki.
But then the Gragas. So then they're saying, all right, so we could afford to give over the Lulu. Again, it wasn't really their undoing. I mean, it was kind of Godbro's undoing because he couldn't get picks off early. But he doesn't have to take LeBlanc this game.
No, he doesn't.
He could even go. He could even go on the Corki.
Thing is, there aren't a whole lot of mid laners now for Pepi that are that good into Corki. I mean, Azir is one of them that does well, and that is banned away. So now the Azir ban starts to make sense from Huma because they've now got a mid lane matchup potentially. Obviously, they can flex this Corki last pick, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see Giants just opt for the Lulu and just say, okay, well, Pepi, don't lose lane too hard, and we'll be fine.
Yep, and that Trundle is given over, so it's picked up along with the Lulu for Giants Gaming here. That means that should be for SmittyJ, and with the Poppy already taking away the next best thing. Could still be a support Trundle.
Yes,
of course.
Could be Hustlin, so again, I mean, Huma, they have the flex potential for the Corki, so they can maybe look at their top lane here and then flex between AD carry. They also are looking for support here. Depends where they want to run the Bard again for Je suis Kaas. Bard, Corki. Not too bad when it comes to opening up the mid game. You can utilize that battle, package, everything like that. Lots of engaged.
I mean, this changes the nature of the game a lot because of the Corki coming in. It allows a lot of different things, and you can see what they've got built up so far just with those two champions have a lot of potential to AoE and ping-pong people around with the Gragas. I would like to see, if not that Bard this game, okay, never mind, I'm not even going to make a prediction on it because we've got an Ezreal Braum lane locked, which means we know Godbro is going to be taking the Corki. That is a decent bit of late game damage now.
But what we don't know now is what is coming in the top lane, which I quite like, because now it forces Giants to lock theirs. Now they could go double flex, pick the Nautilus here, and have Trundle and Nautilus and then flip them depending on what is picked as a top lane from Huma. It's a bit of a risky strategy. I mean, they can't triple flex here unless they want to run like Nautilus jungle, which is not something we've seen since like Season 2, Season 3.
Or Trundle jungle.
Or Trundle jungle, again, not something that's brilliant.
But Graves is still a solid jungle choice here for Wisdom as well. He could go back on the Elise instead, but I think this also works out quite well and it fits in with the Sivir comp.
It does. Nautilus with Sivir is just like you run at people.
Yeah, it's a big front line no matter what.
The new equivalent of Sivir Maokai, where you would just run at people and they'd die and you'd just stay alive.
So they take it.
So, it is the flex situation. Trundle could be top, Trundle could be support. This actually now takes a lot of the momentum away from Huma in this draft, because now Huma have to lock their top laner, and they get two very different top lane matchups. I'm trying to think of champions that are good into both Trundle and Nautilus, and I'm coming up a little bit stumped.
I would say Quinn, but
so Werlyb in this kind of situation likes running stuff like Hecarim, which isn't a particularly meta top laner, but that's just what Werlyb likes to do. Likes to provide an extra tool of engage for his team. Honestly, Werlyb's in a very tough spot here, looking at legitimate top laners.
Well, you got to wonder if maybe they don't pull out something a little bit crazy. It is like the back against the wall, trying to, at the last moments, save their chances at the LCS. And as the timer ticks down, he opts for the Fiora.
Fiora is available. Obviously now this allows Giants to decide, likely to put the Trundle up in that top lane against the Fiora.
A lot of carry potential on Huma's side, a lot of damage. But they do have a front line between Braum and Gragas. I do like this from them.
They're going to swap around a little bit. They're going to keep swapping.
Still plenty
of
of time.
I can see it on my screen just flipping. Huh. Okay.
I mean, this has been a very interesting draft.
They've got until 20 to lock it down, so they're keeping Werlyb on his toes a little bit. Means Werlyb's going to have 20 seconds to decide his exact runes and masteries. Okay, 20 seconds has passed. Trundle has been locked into the top lane.
So we will have that matchup. Curious to see if we do have standard lanes again, as it has been pretty much the case all of this series, or if a lane swap gets called this time around. Huma on the back foot in the series, down 1-2. And Giants, as Losark and Koobs shake hands, are on the cusp of requalification into the LCS.
On the cusp, but Huma, they're running kind of a siege poke composition here with now a split push component. You've got the Fiora over in one lane. Got to try and deal with the Trundle. That's not an easy thing to do.
Definitely not.
While you've got an Ezreal and a Corki that are looking to poke down in the middle lane. We're going to have to see how that turns out for them.
But at long last, you know, things have mixed up a little bit with Giants still running a Sivir composition. If you think they can close it out here, let us know on Twitter, #GIAWin at LOL Esports. Or, of course, if Huma are going to make this go all the way to 5 games, #HMAWin. We're loading up for what could be the final time of this summer promotion tournament to the European LCS. Will it be Giants? Will it be Huma? We'll have to find out as we load into Summoners Rift. Thank you.
I got your back, buddy. Don't you worry.
Yeah, dig it.
It's all right. I got you. Don't worry. It was a
I
bit of a
Rift
delay.
Too many times. I didn't want to do it again.
It's been one of those days.
Yeah,
all right.
It definitely has. There have been a lot of games where I've been scratching my head, and I'm sure you have been too.
Oh, what? Scratching your head? I mean,
yes.
That might be a little bit weird.
That is a weird.
That might be like a boundary issue here between.
We're very close here in the European LCS cast. All right, so we've got standard lane set up. The line of scrimmage here. SmittyJ spotted by Werlyb, who just nicks him with the edge of his sword.
Sticking with the pointy end.
Yeah.
See, that's a
there you go.
Nice. I can do. I've got it.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
I was impressed there. Okay. They're actually going to start trading a little bit late here, so Giants are the one who are opting for the lane swap.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, Giants go for the later swap as well. So they showed top with SmittyJ. Gives Huma a little bit of false sense of security. Obviously, Huma will be like, well, Trundle went into their jungle, so he can be anywhere right now. So there is the potential here. I mean, Ezreal Braum is super difficult to kill. Because you just kind of sit back with Ezreal. So there's not too much you can do in the lane.
HolyPhoenix has shown when it gets to late game situations and he does get put on a champion that can hyper carry, he can do some pretty nasty things to an enemy team.
Yeah, his Ezreal in the regular split in the playoffs has been pretty good for Huma. They've relied on it fairly consistently.
And I actually really like Huma's scaling bridge here because you've got the Corki mid-game damage, and then you've got a late-game Fiora and Ezreal. That is going to be hard to deal with. So Giants, I feel like they are the ones who have to make moves quick.
Possibly. I mean, you look at how the last few games have gone. They've gone a little bit longer, especially the last game. You look at it, Huma actually drew things out pretty late for Giants until Giants managed to get themselves the Baron and start winding things up. So looking at this game state, you can see pretty much a mirror, ever so slightly faster push when it comes to where the jungle and top lane are for Huma.
There's the teleport.
There's the TP from Smitty to equal that up. Now Werlyb answers it with TP of his own.
But we are pretty much even. And this is what we weren't seeing in the first 3 games of play, since it was those standard lanes, even though one of them was up in the top side.
Thing is, Huma have struggled in phase 2 of lane swaps significantly against both LCS teams and Challenger teams. It's been one of the real weak points of Huma, is how to deal with the second part of the lane swap. And we'll see if they've fixed it for today.
Yeah. Giants on their side, you know, they were doing quite well in these situations versus Splice. In the first 2 games that we did have lane swaps, they won those ones. The very last game, they did fall, and that was a swap, but it was a bit of a wonkily executed one.
Not only that, outside of just the end result of the game, the actual swap was better from the Giants yesterday than I think we saw at any point in the LCS regular split. So
yeah,
certainly there's a lot to say about that side of growth from the Giants, which that's growth that happens outside of the 10 games they played.
Yeah.
You don't just magically learn how to lane swap in between games 2 and 3 of a series.
That is true. However, having all those extra games definitely has helped them develop as a team more and more. And this is in the promotion tournament. This is game number 14 for this Giants squad. They even were able to come into the promotion tournament with at least a modicum of confidence since they did beat Rocket on the final day of regulation. So Giants have just been marathoning through this. And, you know, if they march all the way to the finish line, it will be bravo to them to requalify to the LCS.
Yeah, it would have been a hard road to get there. Huma want to force standard lanes.
Yeah.
They just recalled with both top and their bottom lane. Problem is, they are not going to be there before that lane pushes into the turret. So Huma want to get HolyPhoenix and suis against SONSTAR and Hustlin, but look at the experience difference. Level 2 for AD carry and support for Huma. Levels 3 and 4 for the Giants bot lane. Hustlin actually took the Krugs by mistake, was trying to give it with SONSTAR earlier, but ended up getting a lot of experience from it. And because of this recall that happened, SONSTAR actually just recalled himself. Werlyb taking so much damage.
Well, he's level 2. I mean, this is what you're talking about, the struggle, and they don't take the optimal path. And trade, they try to make Giants dance to their tune, but they are down too many levels to make it happen. And this is bad. Werlyb can't even afford to back.
Yeah, Werlyb can't back. SmittyJ is ahead on experience. Now Rudy's up there leeching experience, and Wisdom is taking away the camp. Rudy? Was just trying to get in range to bodies, to Kaas.
Unfortunately, doesn't get anything.
Yeah, trying to get that barrel roll under the wall. Not sure how the barrel phases through the wall.
It's a lot of damage. Godbro's going to try to find back on a xPePii. The mid lane has been pretty quiet since the first couple of games that we've really watched here, as SONSTAR and Hustlin continue to make it a little bit difficult for HolyPhoenix to farm up. And this time, the tables have turned a little bit. You see SONSTAR, as Hustlin grabs HolyPhoenix, SONSTAR is the one who's got the call.
Yeah, SONSTAR actually recalled when they pushed the wave up to the turret. Just wanted to go back, get himself a pink ward, I think he got boots at the same time. Just an odd timing, considering they had the time to completely shove the wave back in. Interesting one, but anyway, Giants, not the cleanest reaction to what Huma have done in this lane swap. xPePii does not have Ignite, so doesn't have kill pressure here.
Does have a lot of poke pressure, though, onto Godbro, who he is rocking Ignite himself, but he hasn't had much of a chance to use it against xPePii, who has been quite the bully on this Lulu over 2 games now.
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat to be expected. When you look at how xPePii as a player works, with a Lulu, you get the added pix damage on your attacks, you get the little lance from over top lane. Werlyb is not having a good time here.
Yeah, he does get a good trade-off, but the minion damage was a bit much for SmittyJ, who actually decides to not go in on that one. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, the Braum stun proc is able to go through concussive blows onto Hustlin, but SONSTAR still pushing forward. The level advantage continues to play out there. HolyPhoenix is holding strong, though, and he was in the same situation last game.
The thing is, SmittyJ hasn't been able to actually farm from this. So he's been trading very well with Werlyb, but Werlyb's been getting more farm because of the position of the lane. Now that it's pushing towards SmittyJ, he will be able to absorb a lot of the farm he's missing now. Oh, Rudy was not in vision. Wisdom's gonna wait for a bus, but it's not gonna show up. Oh, check the push!
Oh, he could have gotten the red steal.
Well, I mean, that's also a somewhat, I don't want to say unorthodox position for a pink because it's not that weird, but unlike pathing through there in your own jungle, you don't really want to waste time in the enemy jungle, so you're like, oh, I'll just keep walking on the short path. Should have checked it, but cutting that corner is somewhat understandable.
Giants themselves don't want to cut any corners on the objectives. Taking themselves
HolyPhoenix
early,
pushed
but
up.
now the bottom side, HolyPhoenix. Oh, and he goes just at the last moment. Has to burn his flash away to get out of the death. SONSTAR is going to walk away empty-handed there, but a summoner spell, gotta be worth it.
Yeah, didn't have to use his heal, thankfully, so he's not completely down on summoner spells. But that is Wisdom now picking up Doom's Eve. And is going to go back into the jungle with that. Look at Rudy coming top lane now. He knows that Rift Herald was just taken, so needs to be there around to counter gank. No package on Godbro. It's just spawned in the base. So this is kind of an awkward timing now for this dive. We'll see if they can get SmittyJ. Subjugate's available.
Werlyb's going. He knows. Grand Challenge is out. The Foss Bomb's on. Armor shred. There's the parry, and Smitty is going down, but Werlyb should follow as xPePii comes in for the revenge, and Rudy walking slowly away. It's a 1-for-1, spending that teleport of xPePii's.
Yeah, 1-for-1. As you said, TP was used, Ignite was used by Godbro, and a flash from Rudy, so the kills did also go. 1 went to xPePii, 1 went to Werlyb. So there was the first blood gold in there as well, but it wasn't enough to give Huma the lead. It is Giants that have the lead. coming from the beginning of this game. You look at the farm difference in mid lane now with the kill on top of it.
See it again.
Yeah, let's see this again. You can see SmittyJ is soaking up time. Manages to get enough damage down onto Werlyb, but the tower does some damage through the heal. Didn't even matter that Fiora got the ultimate off from that grand challenge.
That's the double teleport. You know, we neglected to mention it at the beginning of this game, but it helped out Giants so much previously. And Godbro going for the aggressive Ignite Summoner. Of course, gets a bit more unorthodox to run that TP onto the top. We'll talk about this. Here it comes, Godbro. SmittyJ is seeing this one before. A lot of damage dealt to him, but he flashes in time to avoid the death knell. And now on the bottom side, Kaas caught for a little bit of damage, but the depth charge is onto HolyPhoenix. As he goes away from there, Wisdom coming down the side. This is a 2v3, and there's no way they can answer. HolyPhoenix is left for dead as Hustlin slays him with the final shot.
This is going to be a long death for Kaas. HolyPhoenix actually nearly killed Kaas in that. If Kaas had taken any more damage, he... Ooh, Wisdom.
Oh, Kaas's back is canceled. And now Wisdom is just waiting for the time. There's a flash there, exhaust on, but he still takes away from the red.
Oh, the red buff damage for the kill for Wisdom. Now we can say maybe HolyPhoenix actually did kill Kaas. The Nautilus ult was on him. He thought he was arcane shifting after that last hit. Wasn't going to get the knockup, but
he can't dodge it.
Right on top of Kaas. Yeah, exactly. Well, it was more that he didn't think he was hitting Kaas with the knockup. But unfortunately, he did.
So, meanwhile, in the top side, Werlyb has equaled out and actually got himself a farm lead over SmittyJ. And they will need him to be as strong as possible because Giants still continue to run this game. 2,500 gold in the lead at 10 minutes. And if they take this game, it's all over for Huma and their LCS hopes for summer.
Yes, it will be. They'll be back in Challenger for the summer split if they lose this game. Which, I mean, when you look at it, it's pretty difficult for the Challenger teams to make it up into the LCS, right? The format of the promotion tournament does, however, mean that of the 5 teams that are in the promotion tournament, the best 3 do advance.
It does show you the difference in caliber and what we've seen from these games so far. But, I mean, you also got to look at the wild card in this, and that's Giants, because this is a team that went 5 games against Copenhagen Wolves.
Yeah.
That went 5 games against Splice.
Right.
And could go 5 games against Huma.
But at the same time, they haven't fluked their way through the best of 5.
No, but they've been so inconsistent. It's been maddening.
Of course, but then... it's fair to say that if you've been inconsistent, but your better games have been frequent enough and have been good enough to win the series, then you are the better team.
That is very true.
I mean, it's not the most convincing of arguments, I'll give you that. You were the better, worse team. But Giants have shown a lot of growth.
Yeah. No, in over a very, very long course of games, they've definitely shown some development here as True Shot Barrage comes in and spies this dragon being started. Huma don't want to try and fight this. They're still down 3,000 gold. HolyPhoenix is just getting a little harassed, but unfortunately all he does is feed SONSTAR mana. And he has to arcane shift as he saw the dredge line coming his way. So dragon number 1 over to Giants. They do have 2 towers to the 1 that Huma's managed to get. And a lot of it stemmed from the lane swap choice that Huma made to try and force the 2v2 lane.
Yeah. It's has been a lot on trying to force that 2v2. Hasn't really, you know, materialized into anything. It's been a lot more in Giants' favor. Yeah.
Some pretty lopsided farm differentials, too. You take a look at that mid lane, and Pepi's just been walking all over Godbro, who has admittedly gone on a few roams. But then in the jungle, 20 CS difference. Wisdom has been walking on Rudy.
Yeah.
And then for Huma, the saving grace here is what Werlyb's been able to do to SmittyJ. Yeah. So he's having not too bad a game. He's on Fiora. You know, maybe, just maybe, Huma can get onto his back, and he will carry them to a victory.
But you look at how much attention Werlyb got with regards to his own team helping him against SmittyJ. Like, there was a lot of focus from Rudy and Godbro on top lane to say, hey,
that's been every game, too.
We're getting you ahead, whether you like it or not. So SmittyJ has really been under that kind of pressure. You mentioned the jungle matchup and the difference in CS. About 1,200 gold between these 2 junglers right now. So a hefty chunk of the lead.
Whoa. Okay, grand challenge, and Pepi's got himself out of danger. All of a sudden, the Giants players just come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, just completely run out from all angles. And,
Zipper comp, man.
We're like, we don't want this. We do not want this. So, HolyPhoenix is pushing bottom lane at the same time. Problem is he is so far away from an objective that Giants are actually just getting him.
Oh, it's so low. Oh, Godbro, no! Oh, there's the Valk. There's a lot of damage from that Pix, though.
Yeah, a lot of damage, but Peppy just wanted that tower. That was all it was.
Yeah, he got
Be
it.
menacing so that the rest of the team can take it.
It's a menacing Yordle. He's actually in quite a lead over Godbro, 1,500 gold of himself ahead. And you can see how the gold just keeps on growing. It's 4.5K ahead for Giants now. And it's just like last game, slowly but surely. They're getting it up. I mean, again, Huma have some tools to come back into this. They're not completely starved of scaling, but they need time. We're not 15 minutes into the game yet, and they need to get Werlyb ahead. They need HolyPhoenix to be able to finish off his blue build before they can really make a big impact.
Yeah, they do need that before the impact, but we'll see if they get there anytime soon. So Triforce is up, Iceborne is up for HolyPhoenix as well. Werlyb not quite there with a Titanic, on the way to getting it. But you mentioned these big leads right now for Giants. And honestly, when you look at, they've just taken the 3 outer towers. There's no Dragon, no Rift Herald available. Now is when this game can stall slightly for Giants. Huma may be able to take a little bit of something from this.
Yeah. One thing they can breathe a sigh of relief about is that Godbro's just managed to get his Trinity Force.
Yeah.
He's in a power spike. They need to rally around him here and try to take some objectives, but they're going to be seen everywhere they go. Look at that jungle on both sides. Giants have got that lit. Less so on the bottom, but they are keeping track of all the movements that Huma can possibly make. And they're paying special attention to Werlyb at the moment, who, despite out-farming SmittyJ, is still sticking it out to the top side. In fact, because he's sticking it out to the top side, he's out-farming SmittyJ.
So, package was used in mid lane. Yep. It's about to expire. I want to talk about mid lane a little bit here, and the performance over the weekend for Godbro. I'm going to hold this because Hustlin could be about to get ganked. 3 people around him. Hustlin could be caught.
Rudy's there, interrupts the path, and he pops out the massive barrel, but Hustlin's going to flash away from this one, and Giants once again recollapsing on, and Rudy gets slain. Kaas will follow next, and Godbro just can't do anything to defend him. The double kill for Trundle. As SmittyJ picks him up.
Oh, Wisdom wants this.
Oh, he does. Oh, the flash! Followed by Godbro.
He doesn't have his ult. He doesn't have his ult, so he can't finish it. Godbro manages to get himself away. Now Giants want to push on to the top lane. This is very reminiscent of the first game where Giants would just take the better fights.
Werlyb. He's able to hang it out, though. The Riptide won't connect on him. Still, his tower's going down. Giants just keep on extending this gold lead now.
Yeah.
It's 7K. It's about to be more. 8, 7.5, really. Wisdom stays around a little bit too long, but HolyPhoenix doesn't have any damage.
Yeah, Giants have to back away at this point, recall, reset for this game, but this is very reminiscent of game number 1. I want to talk a little bit about Godbro as we come through this replay. Rudy thinks they've got the good fight here, gets the knockback, but it's only on Hustlin. He's not taking damage here from the rest of the team, and from here, Godbro's trying to kite back. Braum shield goes up, but it doesn't really stop a lot of the damage initially, and then just Kaas and Godbro kind of fall from this. But Godbro's not having a great weekend when you look at his performance in lane. We've known Godbro as somebody that does kind of fall down in lane, but unfortunately coming into today, in his series yesterday, he was minus 23.5 CS difference at 10. Now, a lot of people will say that's including the Flame Horizon game, which was at like 14 minutes, so obviously the stat would be inflated as an average of only 4 games. But you look at his performance today, on average, down 7 at 10. In this game, down 19 at 10. So he's just, in overall terms, been very pressed out in all senses of the word in
and that's
10
including
minutes.
the Quinn game, where he farmed champions.
Exactly. Like,
specifically Peppy.
Godbro has had a real tough time against LCS mid laners, and even against...
Well, we hit this note earlier. He's just been found to be out of his depth, but Peppy might be out of his depth as well. Gets the wild growth off, but there is no help coming to save him here. He knows he's a dead Yordle, and Werlyb will get his second kill of the game off the back of that. Giants can't quite collapse on anything here. Looking for mid, but there is a bot lane there to defend.
There is. Baron is up in 130. Dragon is up now. I mean, Giants, realistically, they're so far ahead right now that they just have to bait a fight, and both of these objectives go down very quickly. I mean, all they need is a pick on Rudy or like Godbro or Werlyb, and they can turn to the Baron. When it is available, obviously.
Yep, just in a few more. No one's really bothered with the Rift Herald this game. They've left them all alone. Giants really got out to a flying start this game. It's not the most massive lead we've seen, but they're definitely looking more decisive. And that's the evolution we've seen this game. HolyPhoenix knows his number might be coming up. HolyPhoenix trying to kite this one out, but he's not got enough damage yet. Gets the heal off, but SONSTAR's here. That was a waste.
Tag, you're it. SONSTAR eats the Mystic Shot. I mean, this is summing up this game state. Realistically, Giants are closing this game out now. This was SmittyJ getting the kill onto Rudy. Rudy stepped too far forward in his own jungle, on towards, that's a dead Rudy. From here, we saw this one already happen. HolyPhoenix dies to SONSTAR. Honestly, this is just Giants in full control of this game. They get the Rift Herald, and they will likely get the Baron just after it spawns. They're going to recall, set up for exactly the same kind of play.
Recall, reset, repush.
Yes, exactly. They're going to push mid, push top, and really just go for that Baron. There's not a whole lot that Huma can do. Look, not even a scratch on that mid tower yet.
Yeah, well, they're starting to change that, but Huma just don't have the damage. You can see they've needed time. They've needed Godbro to really have a much bigger impact, and he just hasn't.
SmittyJ alone just forced 3 people back from the tower. That's how much respect Huma have to give to Giants right now.
Well, how fast they're able to counter-engage.
Yeah.
Giants have been really on point with making sure that nobody's too far out of range, that 1 kill on PePii bottom side notwithstanding. This is the reason Huma have been held to only 2 kills.
And this is the thing, right? You play Sivir, you play Lulu and Nautilus, like, somebody's getting caught. If you are even slightly out of position, you're getting caught. Like, Rudy is slightly out of position right now. There's a Nautilus coming up from the river here. Hustlin wants to go. So does SmittyJ.
Got to give up that blue. No, Rudy smites it last second. So he does manage to get it, but he has to use guerrilla warfare just to get into his own jungle and out alive. Giants are taking everything on the map. 8K ahead. Continue to snowball that lead. And with the Rift Herald buff, they start wailing on this inner tower. Kaas is trying to stop it, but look at that damage they're dishing.
Yep, big damage down onto that tower, onto the members of Huma as well. You can see Werlyb is pushing in the top lane, trying to get an outer tower in exchange. Does have teleport, but there's no real good teleport ward available. It's all the way back in the river. Rudy could be caught.
Yeah, has to pop the big barrel to get away from this one, but he's still taken down, and it's PePii that gets him. SONSTAR, meanwhile, goes forward. Huma is getting shredded.
Yeah.
Werlyb's not doing anything about this. He's still trying to take minions. He's got his teleport. They're losing inhibitors for this.
They are losing. They lost this inhibitor. That means now Giants recall, swing to Baron. They are going to give up this outer tower. There is no reason to go and stop this happening. Werlyb can't push any further than this. They will reset in time. The rest of Huma are going to try and stop them. The package is available. This is not a fight. If Huma take this fight, they may straight up just lose the game. If Godbro actually goes in and dies.
There's a big wave starting to pour in onto the top side. Werlyb is still committing to the strategy. Giants are a little bit battered here, but they're not worried at all about Huma at their tails. Might as well just be some flies buzzing around their heads.
Look at Rudy's pathing, though. Rudy's coming down mid lane. Giants still want to engage.
Just Kaas lets fly the Glacial Fissure. An inner tower gets taken by Werlyb, so they've gotten some swing off this, but they've still lost an inhibitor for it. There's no way this can be worth.
No, it's not worth. I mean, Huma are getting slight little bits to come back into this game. They will get mid tower as well, but realistically, somebody has to go deal with that bottom lane. You can see it's HolyPhoenix that's going over there to do that. Now Giants are going to prioritize the Baron. They're going to go and set up for their vision, set up for the bait, and try and force Huma to come and fight them. And when they do, Giants will be able to take that fight, and Huma, unfortunately, are probably going to crumble and drop back down to the Challenger Series.
So they've cut the lead a little bit in all of that craziness just because they were able to pick up 3 towers off the back of it. But I fear you are very correct.
Yeah.
Giants, they would have to really, really throw this lead away if Huma were to come back into this game. A massive mistake would have to be made, or a hero smite from Rudy. We just haven't seen that kind of play out of him.
And, you know, we heard Mithy in day 2 yesterday on the analyst desk say, well, you know, a team that plays better as a team can beat pretty much, you know, individual players. And that's kind of what we're seeing here, is so much of the decision-making from Werlyb is about an individual. Giants are just fighting as a team.
Huma definitely not. Kaas is caught. The blowback from Graves not going to be needed. SONSTAR connects with the Boomerang Blade, and that is yet another kill.
And again, Werlyb's down in the bottom lane trying to push back out against these super minions, because if it gets to the Nexus towers, they're going to start losing. And the problem is, he had the TP, didn't use it. Now he's trying to get to mid lane with the home guard. somehow if Huma can get a steal on this or a last-ditch fight that turns around, maybe they can still do it.
In comes Werlyb trying to buy some time. 18, 15, 17. Oh no, it's Wisdom who smites away the Baron. Rudy can't get it in time, and he's given his own life for this one. Big power play now for Giants, and they will recall all 5 members have secured the buff.
Yeah, the recall is on. Godbro stops Wisdom, but
tries to trade. He might just get it. Yeah, he's burning down. Godbro's going to burn his flash for this one. He might give his life 2 teleports, and he is a sitting duck. SONSTAR on the chase. Should be able to answer him back, and there we go.
Now SONSTAR recalls. The Nexus Towers are about to get pushed in by the super minions in the bottom lane as well as we head into the replay here. For Giants, they managed to smite this Baron down. It's a fairly straightforward thing. After that Baron, Wisdom is 4 levels ahead of Rudy. So coming into that, must have been at least 3 levels worth difference in the damage down on Smite. Giants are ending the game, by the way.
Yeah, mid lane is gone. They just need to take an inhibitor here. The rest of them, Huma, have arrived, but even their base is no longer a safe place. Werlyb goes in, Werlyb goes out. Just because he's caught, looks to be unbreakable, but is he? Not very much. SmittyJ takes a bite out of him as Rudy pops his ultimate just to try and push him back, and he's taken down. All too familiar of a story this game. 25 minutes, Giants look to close this one out in style.
Yeah, this is so much more like game 1 than it was any others, and the Giants are going to show their growth over the last few days.
They've taken 14 games. A long, long journey. Shutdown for HolyPhoenix. Doesn't look like it'll be enough here. It's SmittyJ that's gone down. Godbro soon to follow. That's the double kill for xPePii. And that man has come up massive in this series, in this long journey that Giants have taken. The last Nexus remains, and Giants Gaming will re-qualify to the LCS, and we have seen some serious growth out of this team. GG and well played.
Well, it took nearly a whole split's worth of games after the regular season for them to re-qualify, but they've done it. They're back in the LCS for the summer split.
Yeah, I almost don't want to call this their new roster anymore since they've played 14 games together. More than that, actually, if you count the last couple of them.
LCS! They've just been powering back up for the LCS. That's all it was, Pyra.
Charge those batteries. We'll see them in summer. I mean, and this is a team, if they play to the A game that we saw them over the course of this promotion tournament, they could shoot a lot higher.
Possibly. They still had their mistakes. And honestly, they were a cut above the challenger teams. You can see how much that meant to Werlyb. To have that opportunity and not be successful in that situation. But Giants showed they were a cut above the challenger teams. They took down both of them to get here. So it does show you the difference, even between number 10 LCS with these extra games now against the winners and runner-up of the challenger series. But I mean, coming into this, everybody had the discussions on were Giants good enough? Did they have the macro level? Did they have all of that? I mean, honestly, you'd have to say yes. They improved on a lot of even the lane swap aspects, and that was one of the places that we said, hey, Giants, even though they're not as good compared to the actual LCS, top tier teams, they still were good enough to beat, teams that aren't so practiced against it.
The important thing is when we talk about growth, obviously that can seem like a nebulous term, but it's because they were able to play together, play better, and then what they came up with was generally just building those basics, building those foundations that they can then correct those smaller mistakes they made. Now we're going to send it over to the analyst desk where Giants win